Hello everyone. I'm going to give you a quick demo of how to use Quiltster to add a Quiltworx strip set to a project such as the wedding star patterns. We are just starting to get these loaded into the platform, and there's a few tips and tricks that will make it easier for you to navigate through making one of these quilts happen. The first place that you're going to come to when you log into Quiltster is, of course, your dashboard space. That's what we're looking at right now. The next thing you want to do is click on My Projects. Then you're going to click on Create a New Project. You're going to click on Wedding Ring Collection. And there's lots of different options in this window. You'll see that there's an option for a Allison's wedding ring. This pattern does not use any piecing, but uses the Creative Grids wedding ring templates. There's a Bali bed runner. There's a gemstone wedding star, a primrose wedding ring, which also uses just the wedding ring templates and no paper piecing. We've loaded the Princess Tiara as a blank template, and then there is a number of options for a wedding star table topper. Some of them with a scalloped edge and one with a squared off edge. We will continue to add wedding ring quilts to this gallery over the next several weeks so that all of the wedding ring quilts that are published by Quiltworx will be at this location, and some of them in various sizes. So today we're going to start with the Gemstone Wedding Star blank template. There you can see there's one here that's already been colored. This is colored with the Heirloom Strip Set from Timeless Treasures already. So we're going to start fresh with something new so I can show you how this process works. So first you just simply click on the project, and we're going to call it Gemstone Wedding Star. Now I'm going to use the Heirloom Strip Set because it's the only strip set that we have loaded into Quiltworx at this time. But we'll mix and match the backgrounds to see if we can come up with a project that's a little bit different than the one that I showed you previously. Alright, so in this screen you're going to click on two areas. One selects all of the rings, the other selects all of the melons and centers. If I select the rings, this is where we're going to start. You can see that this little button down here lights up. We're going to click on that button. And once we come into our environment here, we need to go find our strip sets. So we're going to come over here to All Manufacturers, drop down and find Timeless Treasures. Then we're going to go to All Collections, and we're going to scroll down until we find the Quiltworx Strip Set in Heirloom. Now, one of the helpful tips that I want to give to you at this point in time, we do not, up until this point, we did not have a reason to wish to organize our fabrics into a particular order. And once we loaded the strip sets in, we realized that that was going to be an excellent feature. However, it's not currently available in Quiltster. Watch for it with some upcoming updates, but in the meantime, in order to find your strip sets, you're going to have to be a little bit patient and creative, and you're going to have to hover over each of the pieces, and in that you'll see this bar pop up which says Timeless Treasures Quiltworx Strip Set Heirloom Strip Set CG1-1. So that means that's color group 6 in the actual package. So if you look at your package of strip sets, that would be the 6th group that you pulled from that strip set, and this would be the very first color in that group. So this is how you're going to navigate your way around this project. The next thing you're going to do is come up to these boxes here. Again, these are presently not in any particular order. We realized at this stage of the game that it would be incredibly helpful if they were, and so ordering of the way these boxes show up is also going to be an upcoming update for the program. In the meantime, a fast way to match everything up. I like to go through here and find where it says CS1-1. That means color set, which is the same thing as a color group, down here. And 1 is the very first group you pull off the strip sets, and 1-1 means it's the very first strip that you're working with. You can see when I clicked that, that caused over here in this image some specific locations to light up. So now, to make it easier to see where I'm at, I'm going to zoom in, and I can pan around on this screen until I find one of those spaces. So now I'm going to come back down to my strip sets. I know that a CS1-1 is going to be one of my light fabrics, so that should give me a hint on how to find what I'm looking for. And here it is right here. This is color group 1-1, which is the same as color set 1-1. We're going to work on making sure that that naming convention is consistent across the patterns and the fabrics moving forward. But in general, the concept of color group or color set should make sense to everybody. So we're going to click that button, and that fills in the first space with the fabric. So now we can go to the second one. So we need to find CG1-2. I happen to know my way around this collection fairly well, so I can move through this very quickly. But I'm going to simply click that next space. Then I come here and I find the next the next piece in that group, which is this one here, CG1-3, CG1-4, CG1-5 is over here. CG1-6 is right here. CG1-7, let's see, I think that's right here. And CG1-8. So you can see that once these are shown in order, they will start to get quite a bit easier to find quickly. For now, it'll just take you a little bit of investigating. Of course, if you have a strip set sitting in front of you, that will make it even easier because you can simply look at the strip that you just pulled off and match it to the swatch of the fabric. So now we can do CS2. So the next thing, in these patterns, we know all of the lights come together in one specific location. So I can click next over here. This highlights CS4-1. So I'm just going to come down and find CS4-1 and work off of that one as well. I think it's this block right here. Yep, so here it is. So I'm going to click that one. Then CS4-2, CS4-3, CS4-4, CS4-5, CS4-6, let's see, let's see, where are we? Here we go. CS4-7 would be one of these. It's 3-7, 2-7, 4-7, and then CS4-8. So you can see that process takes a little bit of time, but not a significant amount of time. I can click on the next space there, and I know now I'm working with color group 3. So I can find my CS3-1. There we go. CS3-2, 3, 4, 6. So we're going to jump ahead a bit here. I'm going to put 6 in, and then we'll come back and we'll find 4 in a second. Let's see. Oh, I think there's 5, 6. So now we got to do 7, CS3, 7, and then 8 is going to be group 2, Oh, right here. CS3-8. Okay. So you get the idea on how to sort through your strips, and I'm not going to fill all of them in today just because it's going to take a little bit of time and you should get the idea. But then I'm going to stop back in there for a second and I'm going to show you the rest of the pieces. So these coordinate with your pattern. So A4, this is the piece that should be most of the dark. So because I like to mix these with some of the solid basics, I'm going to come into the Java blenders here. And I'm going to find a nice dark fabric that I think looks really nice with this group. I'm going to pick the Noir. And then we can click another space and we can find another fabric that we want to coordinate with this group. I'm going to pick this gold here, and then there's a third option there, so I'm going to go with this guy, and then there's one along the outside, so I'm going to select this orange for that. Alright, so just so that you see the differences, and then in here you can come in and select the backgrounds. I like to select 2 different colors of one group and then 2 different colors for the other group for the gemstone wedding star. So I'm going to select a couple different light Java blenders here that I think look kind of nice together. And then I'll select a different kind of shade of fabrics. I'm going to go with this light green here. And another one that kind of matches that color range. I'll go with this. Yeah, that one's a little bit too bright for me. So I'm going to come back and, oh, here's one. Okay. Again, there is a fabric that is repeated in every one of the stars according to the pattern, and we're going to put black in that location. And then we have some nice star points, so I'm going to choose greens for the star points here. I'm going to try and go with some bright greens. And then on the outside here, I'm going to choose like this wine, nice red wine colors. I'll go with this ruby. Okay, so now we've got our background colored. So you can see how fast it is to color all of your strip sets and get everything set up here. And now that I'm this far, now I kind of want to finish my strip set. So I'm going to go ahead and come back in here. I'm going to go back down to the Quiltworx Heirloom Strip Sets, and we're going to fill the rest of this in really quick. So I'm just going to come back up and check, okay, I'm working with color group 5. Now, you don't have to follow the color group order that we have set the strips up exactly, but one nice thing about doing that is Judy spent hours and hours at a design wall trying to figure out how best to get a nice blend of the fabrics from one group to the other. If you are using Quiltster, this is something that you do not need to do because she has basically done the work for you. You can use her layout to create your strip layout and have a very successful quilt come together in the end. So let's pick our next group here. So that is CS6-1. So I'm going to just select the fabrics here. We've almost got them filled in. And like I said, I know this collection pretty well by now, so I'm fairly fast moving through it. You may not find yourself moving through it quite as quickly as I am here, but one thing you can be sure of, even if it takes you 5-10 minutes longer to get everything in the right place, that's still a wonderfully shorter window than ever would have been possible without the Quiltster tool. So we're pretty excited about the realities that this is providing to us. So we need to just find our color, our set 2 here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so our quilt is complete. We can look at this and decide, do we like the colors that we picked? Instantly, I'm pretty sure that I'm not super happy with the bright orange that I selected around the outside. So all I need to do is come back in here, click on it, click on that piece, and then find a different fabric. And I want to go with this wine color. I like that deep color a little bit better here. So there you can see, instantly I have created a ring color set quilt. So I'm going to save this project out. And it takes just a second to save here. And then the next step of this process I'm going to show you is, first of all, yardage. So you can come in here. You can see the total yardage of everything that you need. For items that are in actual yards, you see those listed here at the top. And then down below, you're going to see your strip sets. And they actually show up in the order that they're supposed to be on this page because that's how I added them. But check this out. It says 1 2.5 inch strip, 1 2.5 inch strip. So this tells you that you have that you need only one of those strips for that set. Why is that important? Because if you're creating your own color, your own group of 48 strips, for example, this will help you make sure that you like the gradation of colors, that you have everything in the right place, and tell you exactly how many strips that you have. If one of these says 2, for example, then you know that you've misplaced the block. You can also click this by block option. It shows you the fabric references. Now these fabric references show up in the pattern, and they also are the fabric references that you use to put your pieces into the different locations. And then it gives you individual yardage. If you've used a fabric swatch twice, like this wine here, it will show that listed twice, whereas on the previous page it shows it listed as one item. And it shows the individual inches that you need for each of those specific locations you are using it in the quilt. So that's the yardage chart. You can get similar information if you click on this print page. This information is important if you want to send this to a quilt shop, for example, to order your fabrics. Or if you are a shop owner that is using this platform to create a kit for your customers, you will want to have this sheet in the end. You can click to copy a link and you can share it out to a customer so that a customer can tell you and confirm that yes, this is the quilt I would like. If you are a customer, you can copy that link and send it to a shop, and they can then pull yardage off of this list of fabrics for you. So they can not only see the yardage by fabric here, but also click on this by block. You can click the print button, and in the print button, you can save this out to a PDF on your computer. If you do that, this will save your project information. So let's say you're just working on this quilt. You probably won't work on another Quiltworx project for a year, so you wanted to use Quiltster to color it. In that case, you signed up for the monthly subscription, which you will need to cancel when you are done using it, it does not auto cancel, it auto renews. So just be sure that you come up here and click in this in your button here, click on my account, and there's a cancel button there that you can use to cancel your account if you are only going to use it temporarily. But that will give you the ability to save it out. Just make sure you save it out both under the By Fabric tab and under the By Block tab so that you have all of the information that you need for your project. So we're going to go back to the project editor. I'm going to show you one more kind of cool feature of this layout. You can now, let's say you're like, you're not sure if you are really happy with the backgrounds that you picked for the quilt, and you want to go find something else, see if it might suit your fancy a little bit better. You can actually save project as, and you can come in here and label it as option 2. So you're going to save it as new. So now it's going to save that out as a new project. So you don't have to go back and re-click all of your ring sets. You just have to click your backgrounds, and then you can come back in here. You have to go down to your filters, find your fabric collection again. We're going to go down and look and see what else we have for Java blenders that might look nice in this quilt. And we're going to try and go with more of a mauve slash purplish tone, pinks and purples instead of the greens and the beiges. So I'm going to load the whole thing just so I can see everything that I have at my disposal. I'm going to select this guy here. And then I'm going to come up and select another one that looks fairly close here. Okay. And then here I'm going to select some light purples. Actually, I'm going to go to blues there. So I'm going to use purples and blues instead of the beiges and the blues that I was using, or the beiges and greens that I was using before. So that probably is going to make these greens not as close to what I'm interested in. So I'm going to color these with some purple fabrics here. And then I'm going to change this these bolder wine colors to some brighter blues. Okay, so I'm going to save that out. Now I want to go back in because the yellows and browns I used in these pieces here don't make much sense anymore. So I'm going to go in and pick some colors that should blend better with the purples and blues that I've chosen for the backgrounds. Like that one. I'm going to put another purple out there. And then on this blue, I think I'm going to go with okay, so I'm going to save that out. So you can see how making that simple change totally changed the overall look of this quilt. This button here, I can click and it will remove the lines on the layout. This one will darken the screen so I can get a better view. And I can save this project. And then I can go back to my dashboard and I can select between the two. So now you can see some of the things you can do with this program to test the colorways for your quilt before you decide which one you want to make. So you can see I have two options there. I can certainly create many, many more. I can even jump to a different fabric collection. This is one that I put together with my daughter a few days ago just because we really like these fabrics. The fabrics are from Florian Finch with RJR. So you can see there's lots of different things you can do. I should note on this one, I did 3 different ring color sets, and I just repeated each of them twice in order to get the layout that I'm showing you here. So that's the end of my demo. Thank you very much for watching.